Welcome back, my friends, to Marvel Snap. The Symbiote Invasion season is drawing to an end once this timer right here ticks down 4 days and 8 hours remaining at the time of recording this to be able to make the most out of your infinite climb. At the end of this, your ranks will reset by 30%, so for those of you making a last-minute push to be able to reach infinite or at least get as far ahead as possible in time for that reset, claim all of those juicy rewards off of the progress track, I have an incredible deck to suggest to you today. This deck derives its success through a very sneaky tactic of being able to win locations outright without even playing a single card to that location. To do this, we've got Klaw. He's the linchpin here, ongoing. The location to the right has +6 power. To be able to really lean in here, we've got the Onslaught to double this effect, giving us a projected +12 power to that adjacent location. That is an incredible stat efficiency for us. We also have the Mister Fantastic as a slightly more budget version, able to lend a helping hand to both adjacent locations. Again, doubled by the Onslaught, he can put a lot of pressure across the entire board. Now, to be able to synergize with this game plan of having empty locations that we're still projecting power to, we can capitalize on this with the Warpath, a 4/5 ongoing if any of your locations are empty, +4 power. Now, you might be saying that Namor could also work in here, and you would be right. Namor is a 4/5 ongoing +5 power. If this is the only card here, you can leverage the Claw to be able to empower the Namor without actually adding any friend to Namor's location and then take away his bonus. The thing is that Onslaught cannot double the effect of Namor, but Onslaught can double the effect of the Warpath, so that's why we have chosen the Warpath over the Namor in this case. To give us a little bit of assurance and protection here, we have the Cosmo. This will prevent a Shang-Chi or an Enchantress from turning off our abilities, killing our big boys. I love the Cosmo. He also just leverages a little bit of control against the opponent, which can brick their decks in the right situation. Our contingency plan, if we don't get the exact draws that we want, is to be able to win with the Devil Dinosaur. A hyper carry in and of himself, he's incredible. 5/3 ongoing, +2 power for each card in your hand. He can be doubled by the Onslaught. He is then empowered by pretty much the entire cheaper suite of the deck. We have the Sentinel replenishing a copy back to hand to give us greater hand size for the Devil Dinosaur. The Cable to draw from the opponent's deck, gain understanding of what they are playing, also empower the Devil Dinosaur. Collector is feeding off of these cards as cards are added to our hand. Other than from our deck, he is able to gain strength. We have the Mantis here. Now, if you have Agent 13, I would upgrade this to Agent 13. I just don't have her unlocked yet on this account, so we're running Mantis instead. Angela is here because she has to be, as for a pool 2 deck. And then the Ant-Man is our 1-drop. It's actually quite capable if doubled by the Onslaught. Onslaught turning him into a 1/7 is nothing to sneeze at. Diving into battle to be able to see how the deck plays out. Now, we are getting a little bit of a helping hand from the Machine World, which is the current featured location, but by no means do you need that location. You don't need that assistance to be able to have success with the deck. I will cover briefly how you can adapt the same playstyle with an improved Pool 3 list. Effectively, you can bring in a linchpin card called Omega Red that synergizes with a death stack of Onslaught and then projects power to the adjacent locations. It plays a little bit differently, but it's relatively the same. I'm going to lock in the Collector here. Washington, D.C., Nova Roma, waiting to see what the third location is going to be. We have the Warpath, the Devil Dinosaur, and the Onslaught. If Devil Dinosaur can win this Nova Roma lane, and then Warpath plus Onslaught could try and win one of the other lanes, then we would be set up ideally. I like Warpath in terms of how he lets you really hone in and focus on the playstyle of just winning 2 locations. We do get the Machine World. Fantastic. Let's go with, I suppose, the Cable here. Yes, we'll play the Cable. Buff the Collector. We have Cosmo for some protection. The opponent showing Angela Bishop playing some kind of zoo list. Okay, fantastic. We got the Claw. So now it's going to be Warpath, Claw, Onslaught, and our game plan is locked up. That should be producing enough points to just be able to keep the opponent at bay. If they do play to Machine World, then they're going to empower the Collector just to let us hang with them. Though I don't see us winning Nova Roma now. They set up their carries in Bishop and Angela there. Plus the Sentinel as well. Interesting. They want to be able to break the Bucky Barnes. The Winter Soldier will actually gain the buff from the Washington, D.C. It's a fun little combo. We'll throw in the Claw. So now Onslaught is able to hit the board, grabbing up, well, he has the 7 on his body, and then the 6 from the Claw, the 4 from the Warpath. So we're looking at, what is that, 17 points power swing? on turn 6? Yes, please. I call that energy efficiency. Nova, Sentinel. Interesting, they're going to eat the Sentinel as well. Big ol' Carnage. First the Nova for AoE buffing. It's a powerful stack. It really is a powerful stack. Shang-Chi would just eat them alive. Hang on. Grab the Devil Dino instead of the Onslaught. Drop it down. Klaw is going to go up to 12. Warpath is going to stack up. The Onslaught is going to help us catch up. Obviously, the opponent knows they're winning Nova Roma. It's all coming down to Washington, D.C., but what do they have as a finisher? This deck in Pool 2 really only has Chavez, and Chavez is not going to swing things enough. The opponent has snapped. Do they know something I don't know? Are they running... They could be running Enchantress themselves here. If they're running the Enchantress, I'm going to be very sad. They're not. They're playing the Devil Dino. Interesting. Oh. Oh, baby. The 11 strength is not enough for the 8 cube swing. Jumping into our next match here, I've got the deck list up above that I prefer. If you want to talk any card substitutions, deck optimization, just leave me a comment down below. I love chatting everything. Snap the Sunspot. Interesting. Throw the thumbs up to the opponent. I'm sure they wish that they had known it was cloning bats before they played the Sunspot. Just playing a ton of Sunspots to the cloning bats can almost be a win in and of itself. It's very interesting. We'll go with the Angela here, be able to play Angela to yet another location. Love making use of her efficiency. Tinkerer's Workshop. I guess jump and energy curve. Ooh. Okay, that's very spicy. We can go Warpath here. Able to clone the Warpath can give us some incredible efficiency. They go Jubilee Sentinel. Their hand is going to be choked. I think we snap on that one. It feels very advantageous to me. Honestly, why not play just another Warpath? I mean, 4-9 is a great stat line, right? So why stop now? We can play the Warpath again, and then again, plus the Ant-Man, maybe? Yeah, we could just keep on stacking these guys. It's so good. We could also play the Angela down to Tinkerer's Workshop. We could also play, frankly, to the Machine World on turn 5. How many cards does the opponent have? They're going Jubilee again, trying to pull the lineup. Is this the Infinite? Nope, Devil Dino this time. Alright. Well, interesting. Which location do we want to abandon? Survey says Tinkerer's Workshop. Let's go in with the Warpath here. They're not going to be able to make any use of the cloned Warpath. And then, do I give them... Oh, no. We play the Ant-Man right here. Buff the Angela. Copy the Ant-Man back to hand. There. That is definitely the line. It means that we could play for filling up the Machine World. You could also just play the Onslaught to be able to empower the Warpath. Fairly straightforward finish. What does the opponent want to attempt here? They're obviously way ahead of the Tinkerer's Workshop. They're still playing the Tinkerer's Workshop. They get my Onslaught off of the White Queen. We get a White Queen. They're not going to be able to use the Onslaught. They don't have any use for the Onslaught. I guess they did just, yeah, they're not going to have any use for the Onslaught. So what is their big finish? To Machine World. And what is the best way that we can stack power? Because we could go Angela for 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. We'd be able to gain 12 off of the combo play, but then if we play the Onslaught, it'd be a little more. Alright, the opponent has retreated. We already snapped. We knew that we had incredible pressure there. Mantis, Mister Fantastic, the Warpath, Machine World rears its ugly head yet again. How do you guys feel about the featured locations? I feel like, so far, all of the discourse around the featured locations has been negative. I don't know if they really deserve as much hate as they are getting, but I do hope that they rework the system a little bit. The system seems just a little broken. We need to rise up in revolution. We need to revolt. Hello, Sil. So you are playing Mr. Sinister? This tells me you have to be playing Zoo? Otherwise, why would you be doing this? Death's Domain. You don't say. Well, this is one of the ways that we are absolutely equipped here. We have the Mister Fantastic to be able to lend a helping hand to the Death's Domain. If they play to the Machine World, because they're now in a very tight board space world, it's going to buff the Collector. Going to be very hard for them to be able to wrestle this away from us. And then we can just Death Stack Wakanda, because we know that they can't play the Shang-Chi to kill us outright. We don't care about Machine World. We play the Devil Dino, we play the Claw, we have the game plan wrapped up, we're snapping. It's over. Ah. They thought it was a good time to play Enchantress because we showed Mister Fantastic and Warpath, but we had our best cards yet to come. The Devil Dino is not going to be very large, but the opponent now has to play to Machine World or Death's Domain. So what are they going to do? They're going to power the Devil Dino if they play to the Machine World. They're just going to die if they play to Death's Domain. Got the Spider Woman? Sure. Gives me a Spider Woman. I'm not going to play it though. The Spider Woman here is excellent efficiency, but then again so is the Claw. The Claw for total is... because the one thing that I'm worried about is that they have some way to be able to get into Death's Domain. Just the mere fact that they have been hanging on in the game tells me that they have to have some kind of plan. If they have a Scarlet Witch, they can get in, flip the Death's Domain, and then be able to pile on 4 more power worth of cards. They're acting like they have a way to do it. So, we play the Claw rather than the Spider Woman. The Spider Woman would be 1 point larger swing at Wakanda itself, but the Claw is helping Death's Domain. Too much to put up. Here it is. Is it exactly what we called? It's the Nova. Oh, so Nova breaks. Oh, but is it the Bucky? Scarlet Witch flips it now that the Nova has died. We get the Hub, also buffing the Devil Dino. And the Sentinel is not enough. Another 8-cube win? We are cruising. Victory. As promised, the evolution into Pool 3, and it's seeing a lot of updates here. The Omega Red is taking the place of the Claw, ongoing if you're ahead by 10 power here, plus 4 power to other locations. Now this ongoing effect can be doubled by Onslaught, so we are requiring a significant amount of overkill at Omega Red's location to then be able to project a tremendous pressure on the other location. So the Onslaught is here. He has to be able to get his doubling effect off. We have updated the Devil Dino for Iron Man because we really have to overkill the location. So we need to stack the Iron Man, the Omega Red, and the Onslaught to be able to guaranteed win by more than 10, but then also put enough pressure on the adjacent sides. We have the Claw still here as a fallback. We also have the Mister Fantastic as the budget version, and then we are running just a ton of energy cheats to be able to get things to come together. We have the Psylocke, the Wave, and the Sarah, all different ways to be able to make our cards less expensive. The Magic to extend the game, giving us that turn 7 off of Limbo to be able to continue to extend and find our combos. And we have the crucial Mystique. This list builds the true Exodia. If the opponent does not disrupt us with any type of control, then Mystique copying Onslaught plus the Iron Man and the Omega Red is a guaranteed win. No buts about it. Alright, we'll see what we can do with the deck here. It's definitely a high roll deck. It's incredibly susceptible to disruption, but when you get it together, it is the true Exodia, which is incredible to behold. Now, the interesting thing is that your energy cheats, you actually want to hit on either the Magic or the Sarah, be able to cheat those out because that's the only way that you're able to build the perfect combo together. We're going to play our Captain America, hold the center location. We've got the Iron Man, the Claw, the Onslaught, the Omega Red. We're pretty happy with what we're seeing here. The Cosmo actually could protect us, which would be amazing. Is the Machine World. Turn 3 pass. And then it's going to be, I mean, the Omega Red, the Iron Man, the Onslaught is just a great line to follow. They have the armor here. And Nova onto Danger Room. They might have actually been hoping that it got blown out. Well, let's see. Is it too late for Wave, or are we... I feel like the Wave doesn't necessarily help us here. I think it's time just to play the Omega Red. Especially with how Cosmo was so helpfully placed to be able to protect us. The opponent showing Warpath here means they have to be playing the Killmonger to destroy their own Nova. So, what do we like? Is it the Claw? Or, I mean, it's the Iron Man, right? You drop the Iron Man. That way we win Tinkerer's Workshop if they really are clearing away the Nova. Oh, you've got the Professor X? No.
I am Iron
Come on, man. Okay, well, we're going to have to resort to some dirty tricks. If we play the Klaw here to Danger Room and he survives, he's going to land +6, which is then going to get doubled by the Iron Man, which then is going to let Omega Red do the tentacle slap to both adjacent locations. Not building Exodia, but this is one of the fallbacks. It's going to be very rare that you're able to see the true Exodia, so most often things are going to look more like this, and the deck can still weasel out victories with this whole shenanigan of projecting power, doubling power, projecting back and forth, and etc, etc. It's a very fun deck to be able to pilot. Alright, for the debrief, we're going to go back to the Pool 2 list, which is really what we were focusing on anyway. Here is the deck list in all of its glory. It is so much fun to be able to run right now with the Klaw projecting power, getting around Storm, which is very popular right now, the Onslaught doubling it for a great surprise factor, and then your fallback of the Devil Dino is just so solid, incredibly popular in Pool 2 right now. Devil Dino still wearing the crown as king, which is insane to think after he's gone through such a series of reworks and nerfs over his journey through the beta. I absolutely love this list. Let me know how it serves you if you give it a try down in the comments below. Till next time, thank you guys for watching. Keep on snapping.